Hi Theresa, this is your personal reading, and as you can see, I've already pulled some cards for you and a couple of crystals as well, and I'm really excited to share with you the reasons why these cards came out and also why I chose this certain title and these two blue crystals that I have here. So I'm going to start with the first three white cards that you see up here. So before I pulled these cards, I asked what important messages Spirit had for you for this reading and what the major themes are going to be, and I asked that three cards come out for you. So the very first card that came out was this one. It's the Future card, which is interesting. So it's interesting that it gave me a time frame, and I'll get into this further, but there was a big message about something new in your life, and at first I thought it was something that is happening right now, but now that I've really contemplated on all the messages and everything, and noticing that the Future card was the one that came out, it's making me think that something new is going to come up in the near future, and this isn't really something that is going on right now. So I thought that was interesting because usually I ask for messages for the present moment, but Spirit decided to choose something that is going to come up in the near future for you. And I'll talk more about what this new thing is going to be. This is the second card that came out for you. The Vulnerability card. So whatever this new birth, this new thing is going to be, it might have you feeling a little vulnerable about things because it's going to be something new and something you aren't really used to. And this is the third one that decided to come out. Me. So this is all about you. So this card makes me believe that whatever this is, it could be some kind of belief that you end up adopting in your life, or something that happens within yourself, like a feeling about something. But the focus of this reading is definitely about you and self-discovery, self-reflection, and thinking more about your life purpose and your life mission. That's another thing that came through really strongly in this reading for you. And the overall energy that I feel, I describe it as really advanced and sophisticated in like when it comes to life purpose and life truths and truths about yourself. The messages are really deep and complex. That's how I describe it. So before I even pulled any cards for you or the crystals or any of that, I asked to like experience like your spiritual atmosphere. I was curious like what color energy is around you, like your aura, and just like seeing what your soul looks like, or I just wanted, I guess, to see like what your soul had to say to me, like your higher self and everything. So I asked, okay, Theresa, is it okay if I like experience your spiritual atmosphere? And when I asked that, I saw this egg or this orb around you, and it looked blue. And so I touched the orb, and I did get the response. You said, yes, Cory, you could like enter into this orb, you know. You can experience my energy. And so when I touched this orb, my hand just sunk in really slowly, and then I just completely entered into this spiritual orb around you. And I thought it was interesting the way it all happened, because it seemed kind of physical, I guess, like if you were to enter into a body of water, but I knew it was spiritual. But it's not like I quickly like entered into the orb. I like just slowly like entered into this orb of energy. And as I went in, I saw this purple energy and green energy. And I knew there were a lot of different colored energies around, but I didn't see any other colors except for purple and green. But I knew there were other colors, so that was, that was interesting too. And the way I describe your energy is, it felt like I was being hugged by this energy, and it was really light and airy. But I could see it. It's not like it was invisible. But yeah, it was very light, and it flowed really easily. Like, there wasn't any resistance. It was just completely accepting of me being there, and I got the feeling that I was supported in whatever I did. I was supported, and wherever I moved, it moved with me, and it was like it accommodated me. And later on, as I pulled cards for you and received more messages, I realized that this was a big message for you. So there's definitely a message about flowing with new things coming into your life, because during that journey state when I was in this meditation, in a sense I was something new that was entering into your energy field, And the way your energy, the way I saw it was I was being accepted, and in a way like you were going with the flow of it, and you were very like gentle about it. That's another way I described the energy. It was gentle and accepting and very loving, because it felt like I was being hugged. But I also want to say it wasn't like constricting, having like feeling this energy all around me. It was very light, and it was like I could do anything and I'd be supported no matter what. And I do believe this describes your character as well. So I wrote some notes down about this. So I said your energy is very soft and airy. And I also wrote down blue orb. Once I was let in, I saw purple and green, saw many colors, or more like knew there were a lot of different colors, but I couldn't necessarily see them. I also wrote down very flowy, like water. It wasn't fast moving, it was very gentle. I'm trying to think of an example. I can't really think, you know, like a butterfly, the way butterflies fly, they fly really gracefully, and it's not like they're in a hurry to get anywhere. They just move through the air gracefully and gently and peacefully, you know. But I was able to see the energy. It like moved, it like flowed, kind of like waves, and it like wrapped around. And it was interesting too, because at one point I saw this energy, it like reached out. I saw this person like walking away, and I saw your energy like reaching out, so it like started following them, and then it formed into this big hand, and it like reached out to this person, and it helped them, and it like moved with them wherever they went. So I am almost wondering if like your energy actually sometimes like follows people. I'm not in like a weird way, but actually in a beautiful way, because you want to help people. So I really think that your energy, it goes like many places, and it helps people. And it felt like you were like supporting these people and comforting them. Let me see if I could find anything else about that. I wrote, it wraps around you gently. The energy wraps, it wrapped around me gently. It's very gentle and welcoming, inviting and accepting. It's like being hugged. It's very warm and loving. Accepts you for who you are, no judgment. And I feel this is describing you. I also wrote, I see who you truly are. So if this energy or experience were to say something, this is what I'd hear it say. I see who you truly are. I see past illusions. I know who you are and love you for you, who you are. I love who you are without the masks and facades. I think that's how you say it. I see past that. I see into your soul. I see your gifts, your beauty, your heart. That is what matters. Oh, and I also described it as foam, the energy was like foam, like, you know those foam beds, and you put your hand in it, and it kind of, it like gently goes in like with your touch. It was like that. When you touch it, it easily moves. It's very flowy. And I feel like this is a message for you about life circumstances. When new things enter into your life, you move like around it gracefully, and you move through it very gracefully. It's not like you're in a hurry to leave the experience. Or in a hurry to like experience it. It's just it's gracefully embracing the experience. There's something about this, definitely. Your energy easily moves and flows when new energies touch it. You welcome it and you welcome them. Energy is very light, though. It feels like air. The temperature is neutral and cool. It hugs you, but it's not constricting at all. There's plenty of room to move around, but feel loved and accepted at the same time. It's like whatever you do, you are supported. Oh, and I also wrote, I could see this energy reach out to people and help them to accomplish things. I could see this energy hand, like it took on the form of a hand. I saw it reach out and wrap around a person and, excuse me, and go and move with the person as like they walked or whatever they did. It gives comfort, love, and support. You give comfort, love, and support. This is who you are, and doing this brings you joy. And there was this tarot card, or oracle card actually, that I saw when I like saw this image of the hand. And I'll probably skim through the book and show you the card, because it reminded me a lot of what I saw. So I thought that was interesting. I'm curious if the card has a message for you too. I forgot to take it out. I'm gonna take it out real quick. Oh wait, no, this is the wrong deck. One sec. Okay. Let's see here. Okay. Okay, so there's actually two cards that remind me of this. So this is the first one that I saw in my mind. The hand of Fatima. And you could see this person, and like this is you, and like your spirit, your soul self reaching out to people, and you're sending them energy and like giving them a helping hand is what I'm hearing. This is like a reflection of your soul, which is really beautiful, and you reach out to people like this little girl. This is another card that is similar to what I saw. It depicts the energy that I was seeing. As you could see, it looks very flowy and very airy. This is what it looked like. It also says the all-encompassing hand. And also, now that I've looked at this card a little more, I do notice that it seems like this spirit lady, she's hugging this person that is sleeping, and that is how I felt. I felt like I was being hugged and embraced by love and acceptance, and I felt like I was supported and protected. And so this card is a perfect representation of what I saw during my meditation when I connected to your energy. And I do feel that this is what you do. I feel like a part of your soul actually does this, which is quite amazing. And it also shows and represents who you are as a person. This is your personality. You love helping others and comforting them and being that support system. So, very beautiful message for you. And I read a little bit about this other card that I saw for you, and it's quite beautiful, but I didn't read all of it, so I'm going to read it to you. All of these cards have a poem for each one, and this is the Rumi oracle, by the way. Okay, so it says, I can never leave you, not for a moment, not for an hour. You are in everything I do. You are my everything. My drink is your sweetness. I move to your command. I am a surrendered prey in your hands, and you are my consuming lion. Your soul and my soul are truly one soul. I swear to our one soul, I long for no one but you. In the garden of your grace, I am only a germinating sprout. The crown of my blooming is the desire to be in your arms. And I thought that was really beautiful. I also think it's amazing that it talks about how you can, it says, I can never leave you, not for a moment, not for an hour. And I think that's interesting because I saw your energy reaching out to people and helping them. And it's like physical distance, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter in the spiritual world, in the spiritual realms. So that's true. You can never truly leave someone, even in physical distance, because we all have souls. And so it's like the people you love and the people you are around in your life, it's not like you leave them, you're always there and always around, if that makes sense. So I thought that was really amazing that it talks about that. And it also says, your soul and my soul are truly one soul. I swear to our one soul, I long for no one but you. This also talks about how there's no spiritual distance. There can be physical distance, but there can't really be spiritual distance when it comes to the people you love and are like really connected to. We're connected to certain people on a spiritual and soul level. So what it says next is, my hand watches over you. It brings you blessings and comfort, protection and grace. And this is exactly what I was feeling when I was seeing this energy hand reaching out to this person. I did feel comfort, protection, grace, love. Radiant with divinity am I, and you are my child, my beloved, my angel and my body too. I shall never leave you. Turn your inner eye to me and see the light of my grace in your heart. You cannot be harmed. You cannot be defiled. You can only ever be what you are. Me, alive, radiant with love. You are giving birth to more spirit than you have ever held before. During such times, a divine midwife can be helpful and supportive. This is Fatima, radiant daughter of the great beloved, who reaches from the skies, who reaches up from within your body, from deep within the earth, and brings you the gift of protection, grace, and love. You are safe. You are held and you are bound within her warmth. She has received your prayers, and she honors your devotion to life, to love, and to growth. She will help you. Ask for her blessing daily. You can use this simple, sacred honoring ritual to do so if you need guidance on how to pray to her, but any words from your heart spoken in authenticity will suffice, no matter how simple or ornate they may be. She responds to the feeling behind the words, and she responds instantly, beyond time and space. In fact, she has responded even now, perhaps before you even knew she was needed. This oracle brings you the guidance that what is being born in your life right now, in your own consciousness as a seed, perhaps of a new way of being, a new idea, belief system, philosophy, or sense of self, is going to come to maturity under the loving protection of the Divine Mother. And that's amazing because this whole reading is about new birth. It's about the birth of something in your life. And I've been trying to pinpoint, like, what is it? You know, like, new birth, that's a general term that can be anything, when you think about it. I was thinking, like, is it a new sense of self? Like, do you feel different? Have you felt different recently? Like, you're not really feeling 100% yourself because you are growing so much and learning so much. It's almost like a self-transformation. That's what it seems like. It could be adopting some new belief about things, a new perspective, but there is a strong message about you finding your sense of self even more, and you're advancing into, like, the next level of something. And I was thinking about butterflies, how, like, the caterpillar turns into the butterfly. And I was also thinking about, like, different levels of transformation. It's not like you make a rebirth or transformation in your life once. That it just doesn't happen. I think there's different levels, and you're, like, going to the next level. And there was also a message about you, like, spiritually evolving and advancing. Like, you're stepping into your higher self even more. You're, like, becoming your higher self. Like, it definitely feels good. It's, it feels positive. I think it's something really positive. but in the midst of it, it might be a little uncomfortable, or you may feel a little vulnerable because it's so new and different and you're not used to it. And this could be happening right now, or it will happen, because like this future card was the first one to come out, but I feel like you'll definitely know when you experience it, because I feel like it's the next level. It's on a grand scale. It's not something small or little. I definitely feel that this is going to be really obvious to you. And it's spiritual evolvement and advancement is what I'm getting from this new birth. But it's crazy that it's talking about this. It pretty much answered my question. Because I didn't read this before I turned on this video. I just saw this card in my mind. I was like reminded of it, and here's my answer. Or examples of what new birth could be in your life, what this new birth could be. I'm going to read this again. So it says, this oracle brings you the guidance that what is being born in your life right now or in the future, in your own consciousness as a seed, perhaps of a new way of being, a new idea, belief system, philosophy, or sense of self, is going to come to maturity under the loving protection of the Divine Mother. This card also came out for you. It's glaring a little bit. One sec. New birth guarded vigilantly. And you could see this little sprout here. And what I just read, it mentions a seed. So it goes along with new birth. And here's a butterfly as well. So there's definitely something new coming in, and there's transformation of self, I feel. And it's something very deep, something very real. You are also being asked to heed your intuition and instincts. Have some discernment about who you involve yourself with and how you choose to use your time and energy. Allow yourself to feel Fatima's guidance and comfort in you by giving yourself permission to be nurtured through your own choices in the people or situations you say yes or no to in your life. This is a way to honor her presence and allow her to help you, which she wishes to do in all ways possible. Love is all things you see, dearest angel, and that means saying no can mean saying yes to something greater. So give yourself permission to say your no and yes as dictated by your heart. This oracle also brings you the message that your body is sacred and worth your attention. You do not have to become obsessed. You do not have to push or judge your body, but you can honor him or her as a sacred animal through which your spirit creates soul and expresses itself in the world. This is a truly wonderful and amazing gift, extraordinary and yet fraught with challenge. The spirit can be powerful. Sometimes it can be hesitant too, enough to really engage with the body and come to life. There is a story that the angels sing music to lure the spirit into the body, but used to its freedom, it was reluctant to experience itself in what looked like rather confining matter. The spirit did not know that Fatima would be initiating the spirit into her mysteries through the body. She was going to be sharing the sensuality of life, the sacredness of love, the deep mystery of life, death, and rebirth, and the wonders of nature. She was going to show the divine could live not only in light but also in flesh. Fatima holds the wildness of divine feminine wisdom and the sanctity of life. She has great gifts of ecstatic presence, only able to be experienced through the spirit living in the body. She will share this if you allow her to guide you. Once the spirit recognizes this, even just gets a whiff of Fatima's glorious fragrance, the enthusiasm for life ignites, and the wonders of the world experienced through the body become a way to revere the great beloved and turn all of life into the temple of love. This oracle also comes with guidance. Giving your body rest and healing is most beneficial at this time. There are symptoms you are experiencing, anything from fuzzy headedness to tiredness, and aches and pains, as well as shifts in body temperature that seem unbalanced. And these are directly related, if not solely, to the interaction of your spiritual essence with your sacred animal body. These will even out under Fatima's grace and protection, like two housemates learning to live together and enhance each other, rather than distract and annoy each other with their quirks and differences. This settling in process will happen all the more easily when you ask for Fatima's help. This oracle also advises that if you ask for help and protection in any matter, it will be granted. There is no exception to this rule. There is nothing you have done that has made you unworthy of divine intervention, grace, and love. Not one thing, ever. Ask, trust, and receive. And that's all it says, but they put a lot of information in there. All of this definitely resonates with what I've been getting for you throughout this reading, and it's pretty much like verifying what I was getting. There's also something about the divine feminine coming through in your reading as well, and connecting with the goddess and divine feminine. So I'm not sure if you have been doing that, but there's definitely divine feminine energy coming through here. And it's interesting how it talks about like our physical body versus our spiritual body. And I was also getting this sense of contrast, like contrasting things, yin and yang. And I'm wondering if that's what it's what that was about, the yin and yang. Like you're evolving spiritually, and with that your body is changing as well. Like you're getting these like spiritual awakening symptoms, but it's interesting to think about, because usually you think like once you awaken to the spiritual side of things and you start like communicating with spirits and getting into spiritual practices, you think you only go through the spiritual symptoms once, you know? But now I'm thinking, you know, you probably could go through them time and time again as you start advancing like in your spiritual practices, and you start evolving spiritually even more and more. And I think that's what might be happening with you right now. There's definitely something about that, and maybe that's why the vulnerability card came out, because of like the symptoms of this like self-growth, self-evolution, advancement. Yeah. Oh, and another thing, it mentions the wonders of the world. So it says, the enthusiasm for life ignites, and the wonders of the world experienced through the body become a way to revere the great beloved and turn all of life into the temple of love. There was a message about the beauty of wonders in life as well, like thinking about the deep questions of like how the stars were created, how were we created, how was our world created, deep questions like that. And I had this moment of like thinking about like wondering those questions myself at times, and the beauty of it isn't the answers to the questions necessarily, it's the wonder of it. Because if we knew all of the answers to those questions, then the wonder would be gone. And there's magic and mystery and the wonders of life. And I feel like you can connect with this. I connect with this as well. Part of the reason why I love the spiritual side of things so much, and it's so fascinating to me, is that there's always something to ask and like question. It's like you discover one thing, but then it leads to even more questions, like how did that happen? Oh wait, why did that happen? It like never, it's never boring at all. It just leads to more interesting and fascinating topics and things to question yourself. And it's not like one person, one teacher, one guru knows every answer. There's many teachers to go to and ask questions, and yeah, and you can even discover the answers yourself, which is quite cool because it's the spiritual, you know. It's not like you travel across the world and to see something and you're like, yep, that's true. It's not necessarily like that, because 5 people can channel the same subject and get completely different answers and experience something totally different. So there was something about that as well. And I was guided to find this picture. I saw this picture a long time ago, and I really connected with it. It's a really cool picture, and I think you'll like it too. I think it portrays the wonders of life very well. And you could also see that this picture is called Breathing the Stars. Which is a pretty cool title, I think. Okay, so now that I showed you that picture, I'm going to make the intention to send some healing energy your way. So I'm just gonna meditate for a little bit and make sure the energy is going to you. And I'm gonna ask the energy to be sent to you throughout the rest of this reading. Okay. I'm asking this energy to go to anyone else who watches this reading as well. I'm just allowing this energy to flow to you. And this energy gives you exactly what you need at the time it is sent to you. Okay, I feel that it's going to you. Okay. I'm feeling a strong current of energy, so it's it's going to you now. Okay, cool. So I realized that I still haven't gotten to the crystals yet. I got so carried away with the cards and everything, so I'm going to try to pack a lot of information into this short 20-minute video. My camera shoots in only like 23-minute intervals, so I'm gonna try to pack a lot of information. I wrote so many things for you, and a lot of information has been coming to me. Like, I keep getting these moments where all of this information just comes through, and I wish I like were recording it, just because they're really inspirational messages, and they're really insightful as well. So I made sure to write notes so I could remember to tell you about them. They were really amazing messages, so I can't wait to share them with you. So I decided to choose a couple of Aqua Aura crystals. One of them is a Spirit Quartz Aqua Aura crystal, and the other one is just a pure Aqua Aura. And I actually intuitively felt that I was going to choose a Aqua Aura for your reading a while back when I saw that you put your name underneath the Facebook post and said you wanted a reading from me. And I actually saw your post about the Aqua Aura crystal a few days ago and thought, oh wow, I was going to choose an Aqua Aura crystal for you, and I knew that a while back, so I thought that was really cool. And I also felt drawn to choose blue crystals for you, and I feel that this has significance to you. Blue to me always represents communication, and it also represents healing, peace, reassurance, serenity, and it's just a really peaceful and calming color. And so there's definitely something significant with the color blue for you. And I also chose another blue crystal, but I don't have one like in possession. But yesterday I was scrolling through Etsy, and sometimes I like to see what crystals are out there. I love like scrolling through and seeing all of the crystals available, even though I'm not going to buy them. Maybe that's weird, but I like to do that. And I noticed that one of these crystal shops, one of the sellers, had a lot of Larimar crystals for sale. and it's a crystal that I've always felt drawn to. It's very beautiful. I just say it's actually gorgeous. They're blue with white bands in it, and it's like absolutely gorgeous. But as I was scrolling through and seeing all these beautiful blue crystals, I thought, oh wait, I think they have a message for Theresa. So I kept that note in mind and I looked up the properties of them, and I'm going to read some of them to you, and also the properties of the Aqua auras. So I actually got these two Aqua auras in a subscription box, and they sent me this note that gave me the properties of them, so I'm going to read them to you. So it says Aqua Aura Spirit Quartz. Oh, and I'll show you it before I read actually. It's very sparkly and a really pretty blue color. I really like this pendant. It's got this rainbow color like at the tip here, but I'm not sure if my camera is going to be able to capture it. Maybe it will. Oh yeah, right there. So this is the Spirit Quartz. It says, this stunning pendant, it has been cast in silver. And this specific stone is produced when a spirit quartz goes through a special treatment process in which their surfaces are bonded with vaporized or finely powdered pure gold. The resulting crystal exhibits vivid blue surfaces with subtle flashes of iridescent rainbow colors. And that's what I was trying to show you, the rainbow colors in it. This pendant has been coated by the most premier coater in the world, using a patented technique unchallenged in quality. This beautiful stone is a mixture of the beautiful energies of healing, relaxation, and protection. With such a beautiful auric radiance, this stone has also been a great connector to spiritual realms. These energies, combined with the energies of the spirit quartz, is unmatched in its ability to portray healing energies. While wearing the Aqua Aura Spirit Quartz, your communication with self will become soft and assuring. This stone also assists you with controlling negative thoughts, soothing anger, and relieving stress. Allow this beautiful stone to bring light into your life and healing to your inner self. And that is a big theme in your reading, connecting to your inner self. And also it says communication with self will become soft and assuring. And that's how I described your energy when I connected to your spiritual atmosphere. I also feel that might be a message for you to be more gentle with yourself about things, because it seems to be a strong message or theme that's coming through in your reading. And it also has the spiritual, emotional, and physical properties of this stone. It says Aqua Aura Spirit Quartz assists oneself with connecting to higher spiritual realms, allowing you to channel positive energies and vibrations. And the emotional properties is One of the most wonderful attributes of the Aqua Aura Spirit Quartz is that it allows you to calm your emotional body, making it easier to identify with more positive feelings of connection and power. It's said to release negative energies from the body. Aqua Aura Spirit Quartz has been carried and worn by many who are looking to release stress. And they also have an affirmation for the crystal, which I think is pretty neat. I act as a healer in my auric realm, allowing myself to overcome challenges easily and bring light energies into my life. I am protected from any harm that comes my way and connect with the higher realms. There's also a message about protection that keeps coming through as well, in relieving stress. And it says, we have handpicked this Aqua Aura to accompany you on your journey to bring healing into your life. Carry this stone with you or place on your altar. Oh, I thought it had another message, but about like the qualities of it. But this is the other Aqua Aura. It's so shiny, it's hard to tell if it's focused or not. It's very shiny. Okay. Let's see what else I wrote. Okay. Thinking what I want to share with you next. Okay, so I also wrote down that there might be something that you've been holding with like in yourself and you aren't sharing it with others. You're kind of keeping it quiet and keeping it to yourself. Or that could just be saying something about how this reading is a lot about self-discovery and it's a lot about you and like self-expansion and growth. But this is something that I was like picking up on, like something that you are keeping to yourself. It could be a feeling or a thought, or you may be excited about something but you don't feel like you could share it with a lot of people. Something like that. So I wrote down, what's going on in your world that is a secret to most? There's something you've been thinking and feeling that's not being shared. It's in hiding right now. And I'm almost wondering if there's this new philosophy or teaching that you are studying right now, but you haven't like shared it with anyone because you're not sure how you feel about it yet. Or I'm trying to think of like other examples that there could be with this. This could go along with something new as well, like this new birth. like maybe you think people aren't going to accept this, or something like that. And this new birth card, I read the messages about it and what it means in the book, and it does talk about not sharing this new birth with people because they can harm the process, and maybe like put self-doubt in there, or just kind of like harm the process. And that's why it also says guarded vigilantly. So there could be something that you aren't really sharing with a lot of people, and you're not like very open about it yet. Because of that, you're still like getting used to it and learning about it. So that's what I wrote down. I also wrote down soul advancement. Are you, excuse me, are you going back to your roots, old teachings that are dear to you? That's just something I also felt inspired to write down. Okay. And I wrote down some questions to ask the tarot if I decide to pull any more cards. You are stepping into a higher form of yourself, your higher self and soul. You're becoming more your soul, and there's like a self-transformation going on, I feel, or it's like you're moving into that. Okay. The notes are kind of scattered, so I'm trying to see what else I can tell you. Okay. I also wrote down foreign qualities, learnings, teachings, lessons, and beliefs. So this could also go along with this new birth. There's something foreign stepping into your life. You're bringing in some kind of foreign thing or aspect into an established thing, like I know you do astrology, and I'd say that is something that is established in your life, but you could be bringing something completely new into that equation. That's what I was getting as well. New and foreign ways of thinking, and bringing those into established beliefs and teachings. Bringing your own flair to things, own truths as well. I also wrote this question down. So you might be asking yourself this: do I go with the common beliefs and teachings, or do I go with what is true for me? And this can have you feeling vulnerable. So when we study things and read books and just go like deep into other philosophies and teachings, sometimes we can bump into certain teachings and beliefs that don't go well with ours. And we have to question, is this something that I believe in? Is this something that is truth to me? And it can cause confusion sometimes, like learning from so many different scholars and different professionals. because their teachings can conflict with each other. So that's when it comes down to like, what beliefs am I going to adopt? What are my truths and how are they different from other people's? And I think the most important thing is to use your own discernment when you learn and read new things. And that's what also was coming through. Okay. So I'm gonna go into the cards here. I'm going to read to you the description in the book for this new birth card, and I'll show it to you again. Okay. And I'll try to make it short. Okay. It's not as long as the last one I read to you, so that's good. In every creative process, in every birth, in every opening of a new cycle of life, there is a time of vulnerability. So I'm going to continue reading this. This vulnerability is natural and appropriate. It is the full learning to become steady on its legs. Those legs will become remarkably powerful in time, but the process of growth and maturity has to take place, and that requires some wobbly first attempts. It cannot be any other way. Within you, perhaps even below the level of your conscious awareness, there is fresh new life emerging like a vibrant green shoot rising up from the earth. And this could be what I was picking up on about like the secrecy and something being hidden within you. Maybe you aren't completely aware of it as well, like even yourself. And this is like the new ideas and the new feelings and maybe beliefs that are coming up within you. This new life is in need of your attention and your care. This could be a new relationship that needs tending with interest and kindness. It could be a new idea that you need to nurture into fullness, because it is going to hold special purpose for your life path. And here we go with your life mission and life purpose. That's another theme in your reading. It might be something within you, a new behavior, a new way of thinking at yourself, or a new way of being in the world that you need to tend to until it becomes more natural for you to embody. This is most significantly so if you have also, it's talking about another card. Drawing either or both of these cards alerts you to the fact that the idea you are currently nurturing, or soon will, is of great importance to your life path. Pay appropriate respect to the messages of those cards, and you will reap great spiritual benefit and emotional well-being. Let's talk about another card, one sec. You must pay attention to the new life emerging for you now, or that you will soon sense. You must not be careless and think it doesn't matter. It matters greatly. And I did say that it feels like it's gonna be something great. It's not something small or little. This is on a grand scale. This is really important to you and your life, your purpose. being careless now is akin to killing off the idea before it has a chance to grow strong enough to withstand the criticism, jealousy, or sabotage by dark consciousness in others or yourself. We don't have to be frightened of destructive energy. It exists in nature and in us, and is a part of life. We do, however, need to be intelligent to its potential power and stay centered in our heart and in our wisdom to avoid its ill effect upon that which we are nurturing into life. You will not always need to cloak that which is young. Soon enough it will be able to stand up for itself. But for now, your vigilance and care is most certainly required. Hug your ideas to yourself, as though they were a new lover you cannot bear to share with another. In time, the world will be the lover receiving the love in your idea. For now, it is for you to love, for you to hold, and for you to observe. Only allow those proven to be trustworthy to support you in this, those who can handle the frequency or vibration of what you are seeking to nurture. Some may love you, but be frightened of what you are creating. Stay true to yourself and your creative power, and be wise as to whom you invite into your inner sanctum to witness this new life emerging. And this could be like why you aren't sharing this with many people, or you like won't share it with many people because it's something new, and you don't want like negativity to come into what you were like working hard on to grow. And it's like when you have this amazing idea, or you are really excited to go somewhere, do something, and you share it with someone and they suddenly tell you all the reasons why it will go wrong, you know, and they just like totally killed the vibe, and it's just, it doesn't seem as exciting anymore because they just like totally dropped a bomb on it, you know. So like the advice for you is to keep it to yourself, or only share it with people who are going to help you to grow it and are going to appreciate what you are working towards and are going to inspire you and encourage you. Those are the people that you like can share it with, but I guess be mindful about who you talk about it with. This oracle also brings particular guidance about keeping your inner sanctuary pure. This may be your room, a sacred place you visit, or your own body, into which you retreat in relaxation or meditation. Sometimes you will find that others have taken up residence in your sanctuary. Perhaps an argument that you cannot let go of has another living in your head. A suffering that has not been acknowledged and released can feel like a big, old, dirty suitcase of emotional baggage, cluttering up the temple space of your heart. It is time to focus on the purity, light, love, and compassion that dwells within you. And that's the first thing that I experienced when connecting with you. The love, the light, the compassion that you have for people and yourself. Everything else will come and go, and that is just fine. But the purity within your sanctuary is eternal. You can come back to it to refresh your spirit and gain resources to help you deal with the rest of the world and even your own darker moments anew. It will give you the peace and spaciousness of mind you need to recognize the new life and to compassionately but firmly denounce any intrusion upon that new life by doubt, fear, or sabotage. And that is all it says, but very powerful advice and message for you about this new belief, or this new birth that is sprouting or coming up to the surface in your life. So I realized that I skipped the other crystal that I told you about, so I'm going to read you the crystal properties of the Larimar crystal that I felt drawn to share with you. Okay, so this is what they look like. Looks like, my phone is being weird, scrolling without me scrolling. Isn't it pretty? You've got these bands of white in them and these really pretty blue, like sky blue colors. So the first thing it says is, oh, let me go out 1 second. I thought it was closed. It connects you to the goddess. So there's definitely something about goddesses and the divine feminine that's coming through. Larimar stone is an active throat chakra crystal that has a vibration that assists clear communication. Its energy will quicken your contact with the goddess, and by accessing the divine feminine, you may soothe and heal your emotions and release stress. It has a distinct vibration that aids you to communicate with clarity, and because of its heart-based energy, it helps you to speak of your emotions. This is a highly spiritual stone that works effectively within all of the chakras from the heart chakra through to the crown chakra. It dissolves emotional barriers. It helps to release stored negative emotions, such as angry thoughts, remembered pain, and other detrimental emotions that are not benefiting you. And another thing that is really cool about this crystal is it's also called the Atlantis stone. And this is actually a really powerful message for you. I was going to get to this, but I'll tell you a little bit about it now. So I noticed that as I was pulling cards and everything, there's a strong message about sky and the sea with you. There's like the water element and the air element are strongly coming through in your reading, which is quite interesting. And it came through in one of the cards that came out for you, and it's also coming through with this stone because it's called the Atlantis stone. And I'm not sure if you know this, but Atlantis is known as this spiritual place, this city that was built underneath the sea. But if I remember correctly, I think there's also an aspect of it being up in the clouds. It's like, oh sorry, my allergies. I can see this city floating on a cloud in the sky. So here again I see this aspect of the sea and the sky. So I'm not sure if this goes along with your astrological chart, or if these are just elements that have messages for you about your life currently. I'm sure you know a lot more about the elements than I do because you go deep into astrology and the elements. So I'm sure you'll be able to take messages just by me telling you this, even though I don't know a whole lot about the elements of water and air. But there's something very strong about this. And they also say when looking at the Larimar crystal, it's like you can see the sky and the ocean within it, because there's hues of blue, and there's also bands of white, like you'd see in the waves in the ocean, blue and white, and within the clouds and the blue sky. So there's something really cool about this. And when I opened my drawer to get my lighter to light this candle, I noticed another candle that I had in the drawer that I got a while back, and I felt drawn to take it out, and I thought, well, maybe I could light it this time. I know it smells good. And I noticed that the picture, it goes along with the sky and the ocean too. Hopefully you'll be able to see it. It's called Mediterranean Breeze. So I was like, oh my gosh. There's definitely something about the sea and the sky and like the ocean. And going deeper into it, I also realized that, so you practice astrology, and we all know that the moon, it affects the tides of the ocean. So there's another message about the water element and the sea, the ocean, and the sky. It connects with the moon and the stars. So I thought that was quite cool too. And there's like an extra message about that. And water is blue, and I felt drawn to choose blue crystals for you. So it goes along with the blue color for you, the blue egg, the blue energy field that I saw around you. And I think I wrote more about this. Let's see. Can't find anything yet. Oh, I also wrote, the sky and ocean are so vast and seemingly never ending. Your soul is like that. It's also like that. You have vast potential. And I also wrote sky full of stars, sea and moon. So there's also something coming through about your potential, and this goes along with your soul mission and life mission. And this could go along with the first card that came out for you, Future, because when you think about it, when you think about your potential, you also think about your future, and you have the question of who am I going to become, and where are these gifts and abilities going to take me? And you think about your future, like, what is it going to look like? And these could be questions you're asking yourself, like, where are these teachings and astrology going to take me? Where is spirituality going to take me? And like, there's so many aspects of spirituality. There are so many things that you can do with that whole subject. It could take you so far. So there was a message about that as well. So the sky and the ocean. Very strong symbolism for you. Another thing that was cool is it says this blue stone is found in only the Dominican Republic in the Caribbean Sea. It is in this one location in the world, on the island of Hispaniola, that this type of blue pectolite is found. And this has a message about how you are so special and unique, and there's only one of you. And this goes along with your life purpose as well. It's like each person has their own life mission. They're here for a specific purpose, a specific mission that they have in mind. And I mean, someone else could have a similar mission as you, but like you have something special to offer that no one else can offer, because you are unique and you have unique abilities and you have a unique soul. So there's something about this, like this Larimar stone, it's only found in one place. That is special, you know? You can't find it anywhere else. You can only find it in one place. There's only you. There's no one else like you. And that is a beautiful thing to know. The Larimar crystal is also known to assist the removal of energy blockages, especially in the throat, chest, neck area, and head. I also want to add that I feel like the healing energy being sent to you, I feel like it's helping with your throat area, and also your solar plexus area, like where your stomach is, that area. I just keep seeing that, like I'm seeing blue and orange for like the chakra areas. These are two places that I keep like feeling drawn to. I did ask like, where is this energy going to, like what is it helping Theresa with, and like blue and orange are two colors that I saw. And with the cards that came out, two of these cards, there's some really vibrant oranges in them, and I feel like that is a message about the healing taking place. The word power also lit up for me when I was reading like the messages about this card. And they say the solar plexus area is your power center. Oh wait. Oh wait, the sacral is orange, solar plexus is yellow. Okay, so I'm thinking actually it's like both areas. That like one big area, because I know it's like the sacral and then the solar. Okay. But there's definitely something about like your power center, where like your confidence is, and sense of self. That's huge for you. Sense of self, identity, and living your soul mission and purpose. There's something really big about that for you, and I felt like saying that. This crystal is also said to aid blood pressure problems and soothe infections in the chest, throat, and head, as well as helping to heal fevers, infection, and inflammation. The vibration of a stone is known to help to enhance your creativity, and it may help you to find creative ways to accomplish your soul purpose in this incarnation as it encourages spiritual perception. So here we go again with the soul purpose. There's another place where, it also says it is a helpful stone if you have side effects related to a Kundalini activation, as it is calming and soothing. And earlier I did get a message about spiritual awakening symptoms that you may be experiencing. And it's interesting because it mentions Kundalini activation. So you might actually be going through that. It's possible. You can look that up if you're curious what that is, or you may already know what that is. But it's mentioning side effects of something spiritual side effects. If you look at this lovely blue stone, you will see within it the colors of the sea and sky. It has a strong, harmonious feminine energy and calls forth feelings of a spiritual nature. Healers may use this stone in layouts at any of the chakras from the heart chakra up, but it is most effective at the throat and heart chakra. And that is all I'd like to share with that. I also looked at pictures of these crystals, and there were some cool like little messages about them. So one says the Larimar crystal aids in relaxation and healing. Larimar, known as the Stone of Atlantis, reduces stress and decelerate day-to-day life. I thought that was interesting as well, because when I was connecting with your energy, I noticed the rhythm of it. It was very gentle, and it wasn't fast moving. It was like neutral almost. Like, it wasn't really slow, it wasn't really fast, it wasn't even fast. It was just like gently moving and flowing your energy. And it says it decelerate day-to-day life. So there's something about motion as well. Going with the flow gracefully. It aids with self-healing on an emotional level, helps to overcome fears, and encourages to communicate their own feelings. Helps with peace, quiet confidence, clear communication. I trust my innate power and wisdom. That's the affirmation for it. As a crystal of serenity, it promotes relaxation. Larimar cools the hot tempers and guides excessive passion into peace. And it's also a soulmate stone. Okay, a combination of the energies from the sea and the sky. Very relaxing, embodies goddess energy, emotional honesty, and setting up boundaries. Aids in contacting angels in the ascension process. Here we go again. Okay. That's all I want to share about the Larimar crystal. So, now I want to share with you the next card that came out. And I had this crazy experience with this one. So, as I was shuffling the deck, I kept seeing the card with the whale in it. And before I even, like, pulled the card over, because it landed like this, I saw the image of the whale again, and when I flipped it over, I saw that it was that exact card, so it kind of freaked me out. I've been doing that a lot lately, like seeing what card is gonna come out, but another synchronicity happened as well. It has your name on it. So let's see if it'll focus for you so you can see the writing. Sometimes it takes a while. Oh, come on, camera. Oh, it's almost there. Okay, cool. So this card is validating that yes, this reading, this card is for Theresa. Magdalena Bay, in Baja, is that what it says? It's hard to read backwards, but here we go again with the ocean and the sky. And I also noticed there's a moon and a sun in this card, and this goes along with the yin and yang, the two contrasting things that I was getting, like the spiritual versus the physical aspects of life, contrasting. Sea and sky, that's contrasting as well. And another thing with this card is it mentions new birth as well, which totally floored me, because these are cards from two separate decks and they both mention new birth, so that is amazing. So it says, I birth new concepts and ideas easily. I am full of flowfulness in every part of my life. Grace permeates my being. And that is exactly what I was experiencing in your spiritual atmosphere, and that is the essence of your soul. That's how I described it, and like the notes that I wrote down, it definitely relates to this card. I'm going to show you these two cards side by side so you can see here that they both mention new birth, which is pretty amazing. And another thing that I noticed is there's also a message about like greatness, and like the effect of things, I guess. So this card, it has a small plant and a small butterfly, and in this card we have a whale. The proportions are like a lot. The scale is pretty great. Whales are like huge animals, and butterflies in this plant, like they're small creatures. So there's something about like you moving in to something greater, like you're stepping into your soul even more, like your higher self. You're becoming that even more. You are spiritually evolving. So it's like you're becoming, like you're a butterfly now, but you're moving into becoming a whale almost, like something greater than you currently are, like spiritually. You're evolving into something more than you have imagined. And I thought that was really interesting, because there's also proportions showing up like with these cards in the crystals, because over here we have this small aqua aura, and then we have like this larger spirit quartz aqua aura on this side, and then we have this B card, and then we have the giant panda. It even says giant on here. So there's definitely something about that, like moving into something greater, which is quite amazing. Okay, so I'm gonna talk about the B card next. I just needed to gather my thoughts to make sure that I got everything about that card. Okay. So, this came from the Secret Language of Animals Oracle, and I thought that they were gonna pull just one card, but they surprised me and pulled two. And there's some really beautiful messages that came through with the two cards. So one message that I got with this one is just to be, like spelled B-E. There's a message about being yourself and knowing your unique gifts and utilizing them, using them in your life, and using them like for your soul purpose, your life purpose, because your gifts go along with that. And so that's what I heard, just to be. And this card also it has a written down purpose, I think. Yeah, that's where it is. Yeah. And bees, they create honey, and they are very valuable to this ecosystem because of that, because they keep trees, or not trees, but plants alive, because they pollinate them, and they are essential to keep that going, to keep flowers blooming, and they create honey in the process. And when you think about it, if bees went extinct, then we'd have some trouble, like we wouldn't have honey anymore, you know? And this has a message about you. There's only one you, and so it's important that you see your gifts and you use them for the good. There's like a message about you sharing the love that you have in your gifts with the world, to create benefit for the lives of those around you and the people that you interact with and come across. There's something greater. It's like it goes along with the greater purpose of why you are here, and like the soul and the person that you are. You have beautiful gifts, and you have the beautiful ability to make people's lives brighter and lighter and more peaceful. You like touch so many people's lives. Just being who you are, just to be, it goes along with that message. Just be yourself. Just by being yourself, you touch people's lives, and you like shine your light upon others' lives, and in a way you create honey for other people, and you're essential for that. You're like a big you're like a puzzle piece in the puzzle. Without you, something would be missing, you know? something would be missing. And there's a beautiful message about that for you. And I read a little bit in the book and just about the honey, and it also mentions gold. And with the Aqua aura crystals, they're quartz with gold. So there's a message also that you are gold and you are honey in a way. Like seeing yourself as gold and seeing your purpose as gold and knowing the importance of it. Like, you are very valuable, and when you think about it, gold is very sought after. It's very valuable, and it's like relating to you. You are very valuable and your gifts are very valuable. And you're like a bee. Like, you're essential for the greater purpose as well. Okay, let me find this. Okay. Let's see here. Bee comes into your world with a clear and simple message. It is your mission to devote yourself to the harvesting and sharing of your divine gifts. Do not question it. Do not doubt it. Do not for a moment think that your gift is not needed. Do not for 1 second think that the absence of your expression would go unnoticed. Like the quintessential role that bee plays in pollinating flowers to make food for our planet, you came here with a creative gift that needs to be harvested and brought forth. Your soul yearns for it. The balance of our planet relies on it. Bee is calling you to play your part, to embark on the mission of discovering the nectar and the gold of your own being and bringing it forth to share with others. Bee says we each have our unique part to play, and while it is important to discover our own note to play, there's also deep fulfillment in dissolving into the greater chorus of the hive. Be humble and quietly focus on the task at hand. Be resilient and generous in your interaction with others. Do not be concerned if you have been recognized today for your great deeds. Allow yourself to be fed by your devotion and by the pulse of creation flowing within you, in whatever form it takes. With Bee as your guide, you will discover the sweet power of service as a gift in itself. Reward will come in the quiet witness of others benefiting from the fruit of your creation and awakening to their own. Now is a powerful time to ask yourself, how can my daily work and way of being serve the earth and those around me, perhaps in ways that you don't even realize? I came into this world with a divine purpose. From my first steps to my final flight, I fulfill it each day anew. I nurture myself and share my gifts, playing my part in the greater whole. And that's why the Bee card came out for you. So, I hope you like that message. I really like that message. It's very deep and very special to hear. And I think that's all I I want to add something else real quick. So about life purpose, sometimes we wonder what our life purpose is on a grand scale, and we like to think of it as like, what is the definition of it, looking at a big picture rather than a small picture, but sometimes we don't have to see it on a grand scale. and as something as in like my purpose is to I'm trying to think of an example. Like it doesn't have to be some like extravagant big thing, you know, like I'm here to be a star, you know, I'm here to save lives. There's things that you could consider as small acts of love and kindness, but they are actually great things, and they go along with our life mission and purpose. And many times we don't like to think of our life purpose as something that we do like day by day. It's more like a lifetime scale. But when you think about it, like you can ask yourself, okay, what is my purpose today? What can I do to help someone today? And that is included in your life purpose and your life mission. And as all of those days go by, your mission, it gets even bigger and bigger. And it was already something great when you just see it as one day, something you did on that day, something you did on that day, but then it like adds up. But what I'm saying is you don't have to make it complicated when you think about life purpose and mission. You can simplify it, and you'll quickly see that like small things actually have like great ripple effects, and that is good enough. Yeah, when you think about it, like one day you could say, okay, my purpose today is to teach my son something valuable, or to let someone know that they are not alone, or it's to send my friend a message or to call them and just have a conversation with them and make them laugh, make them smile, make them know that they're supported. And these are just they're small acts, you know, but as you hear me say this, as I hear myself say this, there's like a power to it. There's like I could feel the love just like by saying these things, even though it's not something that takes years to accomplish. There's great meaning to these things, to these acts of love and kindness, and they are a big part of your life mission and purpose. So when you wonder what your purpose is, you can think in simple acts of love, and that will warm your heart, and it will remind you that you have a great purpose and you don't have to do much to fulfill it, you know? You don't have to wait years to fulfill your life mission. In a sense, you could fulfill it day by day by day. And when you think even deeper, like, you could ask yourself, so why am I here today? You know, like, why am I alive today? What can I do to fulfill my purpose and use my gifts for the good of those around me. And it changes things, and it's like something small, it like suddenly becomes like even bigger, and it's on a grand scale. And I hope I explained that so it makes sense to you. That is what I channeled earlier. I did mention that I did have moments of like inspiration, and messages just came to mind, and that was one of them. That's one of the things I channeled. And I felt that it was important to share that with you. When it comes to you asking what your life purpose is and your soul mission is. And there's your answer. So I'm going to move on to the next card that came with this one. And yeah, I'll show you the card and then I'll get into the messages. I love this card. I love pandas. So this one says innocence, gentleness, harmony, and balance. And gentleness is a reflection of your soul. I feel like you are like gentle in nature, and you are kind and loving in nature. And there's also a message about being in harmony with your life and with who you are. Harmony with self as well, and balance. This goes along with the yin and yang, the contrast between the spiritual world and our physical world, and combining them together. That's what you do. You combine the spiritual with the physical in your life, and that's where the balance comes in. It's balancing both sides, both aspects, and bringing them together into one whole amazing thing. And as I was looking at this card, I received a message of, okay, this is Chinese. This is Chinese culture. Pandas are in China. Or are they in Japan? They're, but they're like a symbol of Chinese culture in China. And I was trying to figure out, like, what message is there about Chinese culture? And I had to like contemplate it and let the message come to me. And then it like totally dawned on me that I remember reading a post you did a while back, and I remember you writing something about you going to school and learning about Chinese medicine. And it totally clicked, like, oh yeah, Theresa knows about Chinese medicine. And hopefully I remember this right. But I also remember reading something about you combining Chinese medicine and holistic practices in with astrology, and using astrology to help people with physical ailments and things like that. And so I feel like this card completely represents that for you, and it's kind of like validating it. Because I know that with Chinese medicine, you can look at a physical ailment and you can find the spiritual cause for it. Like, let's say someone has been getting like strep throat a lot, like sickness with the throat area and they're having like problems with it, and you can like call upon your knowledge of Chinese medicine, and you can let the person know that, okay, this ailment has something to do with you not speaking your truth enough. And if you start speaking your truth more and you work on that, then the problems with your throat and like the sickness that you keep experiencing, like doing this, it will help that. It will help heal that. And I feel like that's why this card came out. And I feel like this goes along with your life purpose, and that's why it came out with the B card. You're the person that brings new ways of thinking when it comes to physical ailments, and you like bring the other side of the table, so to speak. You're like the holistic practitioner, and you like bring new ways of healing. Like doctors, they bring ways of healing on like the physical level, but you're the person with this spiritual, you bring in the spiritual reasons why something may be going on with someone on like a physical level. And doctors, like surgeons and stuff, like they don't bring in the spiritual, but you do, because you understand the power of thought and energy. You can see things on an energy level. So I feel like that, this card, like next to the B card, which is about your purpose, this is validating that this is like a big part of your purpose here and your gifts and like what you bring to the table. This is like a beautiful service that you bring to people, and this is like part of your skill set, part of your gifts and what you're passionate about. So I thought that was beautiful. I feel like all of these messages, they came together like so perfectly, and they're so interconnected. I really enjoyed doing this reading for you, and I hope you enjoy hearing all of the messages, and I hope they really resonate with you. And thank you so much for allowing me to do this reading. I truly enjoyed it. And thank you for watching, and I hope it helps everyone that watches this video. And that's all I have to say. So again, thank you so much for watching, and have a beautiful day.